Hi, this is Michael Christie, Music Director of the Colorado Music Festival. This summer I'm bringing a project that I've been working on with my Phoenix Symphony in Arizona, a project we're calling Rediscovered Masters. A couple of years ago I was listening to a few CDs that were sent to me by some friends of works that had just such incredible power and lyricism, but somehow just weren't part of the orchestral repertory. And I started thinking, well, where does this body of music come from? And as it turns out, we now know of thousands of compositions by composers who were either exiled or killed during the Nazi Holocaust era. Of course, we've been hearing more and more about this because gradually orchestras and opera companies are becoming increasingly aware of this suppressed music. And so, at the Colorado Music Festival, we're going to take our own look at a few of these composers, and we start the season with a combination of works, Schubert's Unfinished Symphony, and then the response that it inspired by Polish composer Marcel Tieberg. Tieberg was a pianist, a teacher, but also a composer of music much like Gustav Mahler and Dvorak. But in this case, he decided to continue the thread of Schubert's compositional style, his proportions, and that classical sense, and try to imagine what Schubert might have continued to write if he worked on the piece a little longer. So what you'll hear are the two movements of the Schubert Unfinished going on into Marcel Tieberg's scherzo and finale, just like a normal four-movement symphony, and you can decide whether the two are appropriately placed. I think from the experience I had in Phoenix, you're going to be very intrigued by this. This project continues during the second week of the festival with our Festival Orchestra program, featuring the music of Erich Korngold, who, as many of you know, fled to California and became one of the most influential film composers, and a composer you may not know very much about. His name is Mieczysław Weinberg, and Weinberg also fled, but he fled in the other direction. He fled east into Russia. His music is infused with the colors and village music of Eastern Europe, and in this case he uses this work as a tribute to his mother in the region that she came from. What you'll hear at the beginning are beautiful solos for horn, English horn, and then slowly it builds up into this incredible gypsy dance. And it just keeps going and going into the end. It's just a great 10-minute journey. Erich Korngold fled from Central Europe to Hollywood, and he became one of the great film composers of the mid-20th century. In this case, Erich Korngold's score is incidental music to Shakespeare's Much Ado About Nothing. So we get this chance to revel in all the small details that bring Shakespeare's text to life through music. To finish off this concert, a composer who wasn't as directly affected by the Holocaust but still reflected back on it is a composer we lost this past year, Henryk Górecki. And Górecki's Third Symphony is a work that in the 90s became one of the best-selling classical music albums of all time. This is what people called their driveway moments, sitting in their car, listening to these softly undulating strings and the soaring soprano of Dawn Upshaw. I hope many of you remember as much as I do. In this case, we have Upshaw's protege and festival favorite, Jessica Rivera, singing the haunting and soaring lines that tell of various moments during the Warsaw occupation, and also a prayer, an Ave Maria at the end. The whole series is about unearthing these composers, giving them the chance that they might not have had during their lifetime to have the genius of their musical output appreciated and reveled in.